This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
Welcome to Hobby Nonsense. It is your boy, Sports Boy. I am across the pond, as they say. I am so embarrassed right now for everything that I'm saying and doing because I don't have Ray with me on today's episode. Ray is back in the States. He's back holding it down, releasing some Pokemon YouTube-only content. So if you guys want to go check out some comments, some reactions about the whole Logan Paul $16 million Pokemon auction, please check it out. It's actually pretty good content as far as where we're viewing Logan Paul in the scheme of is he good or bad for the hobby. In the meantime, though, I've been here in Great Britain. Here's what I've established. Geography in the UK is not my strong suit. And I dare say it may not be anyone's strong suit because I'm finding there's questions that I'm asking that other people are having to double check on. So, but that being said, we are in the, here we go. I'm going to try. Was Keighley the town or the village? Or it was the town? Yeah. We are in Keighley, which is part of the city of Bradford. So towns and cities are different. What? Okay. That is part of the county of what? Lancashire? Is that
Yorkshire?
Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm staying in Lancashire where I'm living. That's my mistake. And this is all founded in the great country of England. Did I get that right?
Yep.
I am in England.
You are.
Nailed it. Okay. Feeling pretty good about that one. So guys, we're here in the Third Down Trading Card Shop in Keighley, aka Bradford, aka England, with our friends. This is Ben. He is one of the owners of Third Down. Ben, if you want to say hi to the people, I guess. I don't know.
Hi.
Man of many words. Yeah. And this is Jordan. Jordan kind of runs their podcast that they've been doing. If you guys have not checked it out, please check out the Third Down podcast, where it's pretty much everywhere, right? You can listen to it like on Spotify, anywhere else, like Apple, things like that.
I think so.
Have we established that?
I tried to.
It's fairly new. We're establishing all the fine details, but it is cool. Like that, there is a viewpoint of the hobby in the UK, which I think that was like one of the things you guys wanted to put out there, because there's a lot of content that you guys get from the US, but maybe not as much content coming out of the UK for fellow UKers. Is that right?
There's usually a ground in between sort of the content from the US where everyone's expected to know what all the knowledge is and things like that.
Okay.
And then where the UK currently is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Jordan coming into the hobby is very much...
Jordan is very much me, like a few years ago when we started the Sports Cards Nonsense podcast, actually, because that was like the whole idea, right? It was like we did it because there were a lot of people coming into the hobby back in 2021 who didn't know much about it. And I was asking all the same questions. It's almost a similar vibe where you guys are coming, the UK as a whole is joining more and more into the hobby, but there's still a lot of people that are getting in for the first time. And you're asking a lot of those questions, bringing in the knowledge that people didn't know before all of this, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I was a massive sports fan anyway, and I bumped into these guys at the shop, and Ben just said, it'd be really good, why don't you just go on a podcast and ask those questions about it, because you know nothing. I thought, yeah, sounds good. I'm down for that.
Well, there's a certain level of benefit that you get for not having that knowledge, because it's like, okay, well, the things that I know now, sometimes I find myself like just saying LCS or RPA or like these terms that I just take for granted because I've heard it so much now. But I remember at the beginning, it's like, oh, what? Stop. Hang on. What did that mean again? What was that? So yeah, I feel like you're filling a need here in the UK that is definitely going to help benefit many people joining into this really cool thing that we call the hobby. So all that being said, it has been, it's honestly been like almost 2 weeks since we recorded a Hobby Nonsense episode, because back when Ray and I did the last week's episode, it was, we had recorded it before I even left for Europe. So there have been a few releases, there have been a few pieces of content that have come out that I wanted to at least reference. I'm going to bring this up with you guys. Like usual, this is just like at home. I've done little to no prepping for these guys. So a lot of this will be like, hey, do you know anything about this? You don't? Cool. I'll keep talking. But there are things that I feel like if you do know, great. Let's get your viewpoint. And if not, we can at least talk about it for a minute. So one of the things is there's been a number of non-sport releases from the Topps Pop account, like on Instagram, which I feel like these days, they're putting out more like information about the non-sport products coming out before like myself or most other like news social media outlets are getting any information. So it's like, well, follow them and you're probably going to get some detail before we even get the chance to talk about it. But I know a lot of you listeners do not follow it or probably not as obsessed with social media as I have to be. So we will share some of those things. First off, the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, that product, you guys are familiar with this?
Yeah.
Are you getting any of it? Do you know?
We haven't been solicited yet.
Oh, man.
Katie's hoping.
Is Disney, like Disneyland, Disney World, are those things for you guys? Like, do you grow up wishing you could go or anything like that?
Yeah.
Is there a version of it here in the UK?
No, Paris. There's one in France.
Yeah. Oh,
So, yeah.
okay.
I don't know, is it Disneyland?
Disney. Oh, I always get mixed up between Disneyland, Disney World.
I feel like
Paris.
there's only one Disneyland. I feel like the Disneyland is in California, and then the Disney Worlds are everywhere else.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. That's an assumption based on ignorance. But that being said, there have been a number of posts that they've put out of like this was going to be like one of those products where I think my expectation when I first saw it was like, oh, cool. This is like a Disney Wonder. Like, did you guys get any of that? Like the Disney Wonder product? That was definitely a lower price product for audiences that were probably, not as deep into the collecting, and it was for a younger audience. And I think the boxes were going for $150. I'm not really sure what they're going for now, $150. And this product, I don't know what they're going to come out at, the Disneyland 70th anniversary product, but I know based on what they solicited it at, it wasn't meant to be like a $300-$400 product by any means. Like it's supposed to be probably in the upper ones, lower twos or something. But now we're seeing like they've got these cosmic inserts for Buzz Lightyear and a number of other modern day Pixar and Disney characters. They also have patch cards, these relic cards of the players at Disneyland, their outfits and things like that. They're also including, let me see, essentially they've got a number of inserts put into this product that no one was really expecting. And now that we've seen them, it's like, oh, this doesn't feel like one of these like, oh, we just kind of like threw something together for a cheap audience. This was going to be something that we wanted to make fun for everyone, whether they're a big fan of Disneyland or not. So if you guys haven't had a chance to see it, I would say do your best, push your Topps reps as much as you can, try and get some. Because I know like my first allotment, I'm only getting 2 cases right off the bat. And I thought that was because, there's just not going to be a ton of it. But now I'm thinking like, they kind of knew what they were doing. They were going to put out a little bit at first, test the waters, and then put out like maybe a bigger second wave of it. So, do you guys get much like in the way of like non-sport collectors in your shop? Is there much besides the TCG?
Yeah. So we have quite a few vintage packs you've seen by the door.
Oh, yeah.
They always seem to entice them in.
I'm going to be grabbing those, by the way.
But yeah, they seem to entice them in, and then every month or so they'll pop in and just see what's going on. They don't seem to be chasing the new sets as much, but
really, okay.
Once they see them, they often get hooked.
Is there one that's more popular than another as far as like, the ones that Topps put out seems to be like, as far as resale and price goes, it seems to be the higher valued ones. So Marvel, Disney, Star Wars. Is there one of those genres that seems to be sticking out more so?
Star Wars seems to do okay.
Does it?
Yeah.
I would hope so, because there's like a lot of that with British actors and actresses, but it's also filmed in parts of the UK, so I would think that would be good.
That Disney as always.
Yeah.
That goes well anyway.
Well, I remember so that's one of the things I do want to talk about here in a few, the London Card Show. So I was kind of like hanging out with these guys at the show. But that was something that was hard to come by, was like raw Disney and or cheaper Disney. I was kind of hoping like, oh, maybe I'll find a deal here and there, but they know what they have, guys. They know what they have as far as this. I did manage to make one deal where I got some refractors and just some base cards from Disney 100 for relatively cheap. And I got like a Tigger out of $3.99. I think I paid altogether with like 8 or 9 refractors and a few base of Disney 100 and this Disney 100 Tigger graded a PSA 10, I want to say, or I think I got it all actually it was probably a PSA 9 because I got it cheap. I want to say like 40 pounds, maybe 50. So I felt pretty good about it. But all that being said, it kind of wraps back around to the Disneyland 70th anniversary product being one that once these guys who even if they're not big into non-sport, they're going to see the Cosmics, and they know Cosmics big in the sports side of things. It's going to be like all the big breakers are going to be breaking this product. All the sport guys, the guys who do mainly sport, you're going to see people, pulling I got the out of 10 Cruella Devil. Like, it's like they know no one knows how to pronounce it. You can tell like when they're not the actual non-sport fans. So, but I'm sure they're going to have a ton of it. I hope we get plenty of it to not only break, but I think those relics that they've shown, they look really cool. Like they look like legit pieces of history. And so the sketches, that was the other thing I was going to mention before, the sketch cards that they put into this. It's like sketches of rides and sketches of like Magic Kingdom, like the animation you see at all the beginning of Disney movies. So it's all of that together, I think, is making that product to be one of the bigger sleeper products of this year. So that comes out shortly. In fact, I should probably have already had the date pulled up, but that one's coming shortly. Looking forward to having that one. A couple other ones have been announced, one of them being the Star Wars Smugglers Outpost. Have you heard about this one?
No.
This one I got this one from a couple days ago. So this is just to show you guys. This is a little bit of a look of it. What you need to know is those are on-card autos. Yeah, so that is really cool, considering as how we haven't had many on-card autos of anything in the non-sport world, especially, of Harrison Ford and Ahsoka Tano, the actress, Rosario Dawson, and a few others. So to have that in a product, I'm very excited about. The other aspects of that is it is going to be an expensive product. I believe the pre-order just happened. We were on our drive up here, so that was on Tuesday of this last week. So that would have been, I believe, the 17th. But this one sold out so quickly because I will get allocation for these products, but I typically would like to try and buy some extra from the pre-sale if I can, because it's a little better pricing. I couldn't. Like, I kept trying to. I was like, I just want one case. And like a case is only 6 boxes. The cases immediately sold out. Didn't even have a shot at that. And there's guys at Topps, can we fix however we need to fix that, where people aren't getting it before it's like released? Because somehow it's like it's already in their carts at the moment of release. I know I'm a breaker. You guys don't need to care about me getting more product, but fix it. Let's fix it for everybody else, and I'll just jump in on their bandwagon. But that being said, that product, I think it was selling it, I want to say $3.99 a box. It's not cheap. If it was $2.99, I do apologize. Actually, you know what? I know it was a little over $2,000 for 6 boxes. So what does that come out to be? If it was like 300, it would have been 18. So yeah, I think it was closer to $400 a box, but it's only like 20 or 30 cards. There are multiple autos and included at least one on-card auto per box. So that's one of the reasons why you're seeing the prices being what they are.
Before we jump into today's episode, quick shout out to our sponsor, eBay Live. If you think eBay is just a marketplace, you're missing a whole side of it. eBay Live is where real-time excitement meets rare, exclusive, hard-to-find cards and collectibles. You can watch live auctions, catch exclusive drops, and buy directly from trusted and, quite frankly, the best sellers like myself while it's all happening. It feels like a show, not just shopping, with great hosts, the aforementioned me, creators, and streamers. Plus, everything's backed by eBay's protections and authenticity guarantees. To check it out, download the eBay app, tap the eBay Live button right under the search bar. Make sure you follow, obviously, Sports Cards Nonsense. Let's get back to your show.
Do things like that move, like at that kind of price in the shop?
Not really. That's something we usually shift at a shop. We have a couple of high-end collectors that will take things like that every now and again.
Like regulars?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll come in, they'll buy half a case or something like that.
That's how much of your business would you say relies on people like that?
Probably 15-20%.
Really?
Something like that, yeah. No,
which makes sense. I feel like there's probably roughly those kinds of percentages with like maybe like the big breakers, they probably don't have to worry about that. But like myself or Mike or somebody like that, we'll have like guys who come in and spend large amounts on certain products. And it's like, oh, well, thanks to them, I didn't have to like really push to get this out the door, or I didn't have to lower my prices, because sometimes you've got to have like that whale who needs that product.
Yeah, especially when we're starting out with the account.
Yeah.
Massive help.
I believe it.
Yeah. He's a massive fan of Dune as well. So that.
Well, it's fun too. Are they local, like to come into the shop?
10 minutes away.
That's great, because then you actually get to see. Do they rip in the shop too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love when they rip, like, because part of like the fact that I do breaks and I do get to sell product, it's like there are times where I'm selling, like someone just wants a personal box, and it's like, okay, I'll sell them a personal, but then it's like they want it sealed, and I'm like, oh man, that's like one. Now I don't know if they got, like, if there's a case hit. I don't know, so I typically try not to do it. But yeah, if they ever wanted a personal sent to them, it's disappointing. But yeah, so a product like that coming out is exciting. It's nice to see like a change up, like the fact that you're going to have a on-card auto. And I believe this one is supposed to have sketchographs as well, which we've talked about on our podcast just recently, where there's more products that are not tops. They're not any like the big card makers, but they've been putting out products that have the sketch artist makes the sketch, and then they'll have the actual actor and or actress sign the sketch. And then, of course, the artist will sign the back of it as well. So you've got the two autos, but really the fact that you're getting the actor or actress signing it, that's pretty big. Like that's something that a lot of people want, and it's different. So you got that going into this product, and then you also have sketches that are in demand as is, but the on-card autos. So yes, it's going to be a more expensive product, but I think this one might actually warrant it, because some of the, and now I feel a little bit more comfortable saying this because I've now ripped this. So from the time that we recorded the last podcast to now, I don't think I had ripped any of the collector product, the Marvel collector product. I like it. I see you guys have some in the shop.
Yeah.
Is it moving for you?
Yeah, I think that's back into the second case we've had.
Oh, good.
So,
okay.
yeah, it's
like it's personals.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going in.
What do you think the thoughts on it are? Because, well, let me share my thoughts, because that way you don't have to pile on. You can say all the nice things. My thought is, if we were going to put out a Marvel product right after another Marvel product, because we just had, what was the Marvel product we just had right before that? Do you remember? Wasn't there a Marvel one that we just got done with? Studios. Oh, wow. That one hurt my brain. Okay. So this is why I have an issue with the pricing of it, because, and this isn't really Topps' issue. This is more of like the third parties that are putting the product out there. They put it out, and I believe Dave and Adams had it at like $8.99 a box. And they may still, actually, I'm not sure. I'll double check right now if it's come down. But that being said, $899 a box, and it doesn't have a number of autos that we saw in Marvel Studios Sapphire. So the big ones being like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. This product that is touted as like this, premium high end. There's only 3 cards in a box. There's supposed to be like these nice sketches and all this. It didn't have a number of things that you would think would be standard, which would be, hey, if the last one that just came out had all these like nice higher end autos, this one should have at least that plus maybe a few extras that we haven't seen before. This didn't have that at all. I think it had like Sif, the character from like Star Wars or from Thor. So it had like one or two characters that hadn't signed in the original one, but that's not a major, like nobody really cared about that. No offense to the actress that plays Sif, but it was just more of a, okay, well, for 3 cards, yes, they are premium. Yes, they're nice, but that pricing definitely should have been maxed out at like, I'd say $500 in my personal opinion. I like how you guys have it at like 550 pounds or something, which I believe is something closer to like 700, maybe something like that, which is at least better than what most other shops are selling it at. So good for you guys for doing that. Do you guys, I am curious, actually, I don't even know. Do either of you collect any non-sport cards?
A little bit of Disney.
A little bit of Disney?
Yeah. Okay. Especially having a young one.
I was going to say, with your son going through, rifling through your own Pokemon boxes, how does that work? How does that work when you have kids? Like, this is a big family shop, by the way. Like, not only does it feel like a family when you're talking to everybody who works here, but then it's like they all have their own families and they have kids that come into the shop. And it's like, I see like all your dollar bins, and obviously kids can come in and go through those. But when it's your own kids going through your own bins, how does that work?
So he's quite, I don't know how to word it. Basically, so we have when somebody rips a box and they're not happy, or they've got base and things like that.
Oh, sure.
There's a box on the end that's free for kids.
Oh.
So
that's what he gets to go through, the free stuff.
He's never gone for a card with money, so I'm quite happy with that for now. His favourite thing is he'll come in and root through, find what cards he likes and things like that. But then we'll pick them up at the end of the day and put them back in, and he'll find them again the next day. So it's
make sure he doesn't become a big fan of like the Marvels and Star Wars and things like that, because that's when those things start getting more expensive. Is that ever like, do you guys think about that? Because I know like in America there's a lot of talk of like, hey, we want more young kids to come into the hobby and we want our kids to come into the hobby. Is that talked about here?
Yeah, massively.
Really?
We have a set called Match Attacks or Adrenaline, which is like a TOTS product.
He said Match Attacks?
Yeah.
Just so we're all clear on that. I have trouble myself understanding everything. So Match Attacks is a big product here.
Yeah, that we have like sticker albums and things like that. That's huge in schools.
Oh, okay.
So a big part of our childhood was sitting like swapping cards and things like that.
Oh, really? Did you do it too, Jordan?
Yeah, that's right. My my oldest of the young is like 4, so he's just getting into stickers now because I kind of like gave him a cheaper card to see how it went.
Oh, really?
It didn't go very well. It bent, you know what I mean? So he's not there yet, but I'm hoping like he'll get into it. But stickers are a perfect way for just stick them in, even if it's a bit wonky, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's great.
The sticker products that come out, I know Panini puts out, is the Match Attacks, is that Topps or Panini? That is Topps. And so they are actual stickers though, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was curious, like how many products are, like there's a lot of people who are like selling stickers, but they're never used as stickers. You know what I mean?
So they do everything from football, Star Wars. They do non-sports, Bluey, things like that. So,
oh, do they really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of.
Who does Bluey cards or stickers?
I think it's Panini.
Oh, really? That's smart.
What I did love about the football stickers this year is I remember when I was a kid, it didn't happen. You can actually get numbered stickers this time out of 25, which is pretty cool, like for a kid to try and, because that's what we want to try and get them numbered.
Yeah.
So they've actually brought them into the stickers this time.
So they didn't have numbered.
Not that I remember when I was a kid, I got in between when I stopped collecting. So yeah, it's something new that
it's a new thing.
Cool.
That's cool. So they're introducing rarity into it, which is again a big aspect in card collecting. So that's a good way to transition them over at some point.
The only problem is you get pictures of people on Facebook already sticking them in the book. So we've got a 101, not quite sure what it means, but it's in the book.
The 101 is stuck in a book now. That is crazy. So that is something that is honestly, it's wholesome and I appreciate about it. But at the same time, it's like, do we want, like, do we want that to change? Like, do you guys want there to be a day where it's like, oh, people know better? Or do you want it to always be like, oh, no, we want them to appreciate that these are fun things for kids? I don't know. Like, for me personally, if I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, well, now I can't, like, I don't care about collecting that one of one now because it's in a book. Like, I don't want you to cut it out and then give it to me. But at the same time, it's like, that's amazing that a kid just loved it so much that he put it into his book and kept it like that. So,
yeah, I think I've not really seen the value. I've not seen many of them. We did a challenge of how many sticker packs it took to fill a book. And I think we opened 280 packs and we didn't get one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like when you say you didn't get one numbered one?
One numbered one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is pretty rare then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, man, now I kind of want to pull more, like, knowing it's that rare. Jeez. So yeah, I guess that's like, it kind of comes down to like kids getting into the hobby, backtracking back to the conversation of like, you know, this product, the whole Marvel the Collector one was not for them. The 70th anniversary one sounding more like it will be. However, my fear is it's going to be too popular to the point where we're going to price out some of the younger ones. But that's also a problem. Like, you got Lorcana being offered at Disney World and I think Disneyland even. And I think this product, I think I saw a post that said that the 70th anniversary was going to be at Disneyland, at least to some extent. So it's like, you get these Disney fans going after this product, it will go up in price. Now, granted, hopefully Disney World puts it out at a fairly cheap price, or Disneyland, I should say. But the rest of the shops won't. And that's where we'll find out soon enough what that actually ends up going for. But at least the Collector, I did notice David Adams has it down about $750 a box right now. So it's getting more reasonable. I would like to see it come down a little bit more. But yeah, that was a couple, the Outpost product, the 70th anniversary. Oh, there actually, I have a screenshot. There was another one. There's been so many like products. Like, while I've been over here, I've only been here a week.
They've waited for you to go on that.
I know. It's like, hey, once he's gone, I got a lot of stuff we're going to show you guys. So there's another product. Now, granted, I don't have a date on this one either, but it's they're calling it the 2026 Topps Brooklyn Collection Captain America. Oh, wait. Now that I'm actually reading this, sometimes I read this like late at night, and I, like I said, didn't do a ton of research before I got in here. I'm wondering if this is an insert into another product. It says, look for them. Oh, no. I'm right. It says, look for them in 2026 Topps Brooklyn Collection.
Yeah, I think I've just seen it. We've been solicited for that as well.
You have?
Yeah.
You've already been solicited for this product?
Yeah. Please, I saw Brooklyn earlier.
When did you guys get solicited for it? Recently? It is so weird. 2 days ago? Okay, I gotta figure out what's going on with this one, because this one is interesting. They've got these sketches. We have customers coming in here.
Yeah.
How does this work? Do you have to like get up and walk over there and stop?
This is what Chris is here for.
This is where it's Chris's time to shine.
Yeah.
Chris is another gentleman over here, the other owner of Third Down, who's running the shop while we're over here making content. So
he just pretty much sits in standby mode until a customer comes in and wakes up.
Professionalism is what that is. So anyways, yeah, there is another Marvel product coming out. They've advertised the sketches. They look to be like die cut shield sketches in the post that Topps put out. I want to say, what is today? Today's the 19th that we're recording this. I took a screenshot of this yesterday evening. So within the last 24 hours, there was a post about it. So the non-sports side of the hobby is strong. It is cool to see that we are getting a lot of new releases coming up here soon. What's interesting is when I was in the London Fanatic shop this last week, I was talking to one of the ladies there who was working. It's not a local card shop by any means, right? Like, you go to a local card shop, I can ask you a question about, hey, have you guys pulled any superfractors in this product or anything like that? You're going to know what a superfractor is. Yeah. I was talking to this lady, and I tried to edit it as much as I can so she didn't look like she didn't know. But she did not know what a superfractor was. She actually thought it was just like a nice looking card of some kind, maybe just a refractor. So it's just like, okay, you're not going to that shop for that level of knowledge, but there are a lot of not just wax, but there are a lot of singles that I wasn't expecting. I didn't realize there were going to be not only graded, but also non-graded singles for sale there. Some of it, there were actually a number of superfractors there as well, where I'm just like, oh, people may be wondering, like, where can I find this superfractor? I'm trying to find it somewhere. It's like, oh, it's in this shop. It's in the Fanatic shop down there. It felt very high end. Have you been in there before? Have either of you been, Jordan? Have
I've
you
been to the Manchester one when it would pop up. So I've been to the London one now.
So this is the dedicated one off of Piccadilly, and this is where I would say it felt like the nicest card shop I've been to. When I say nice, I just mean like high end, value wise. Like someone I think in the comments said they thought it was a jewelry shop when they first saw it.
Definitely.
Would you say the same?
Yeah, it's almost like a showcase.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It felt like, well, I mean, most of the cards were under glass. Like they were under like, it looked like bulletproof glass in some cases. Oh, this is one thing. While we were in there, there was somebody who was escorted in with like, they were carrying a briefcase, some like metal, nice briefcase, and escorted by like an armed guard, like coming in. And I just saw this thing after the whole $16.5 million Pikachu Illustrator card that Logan Paul just sold. You see O'Leary, the guy from our American Shark Tank, which I believe is the equivalent is Dragon's Den.
That's it. Yep.
I was watching Idiot Abroad last night. Have you heard of this show?
Yeah.
Okay. He talks about it like in every episode, so I had to look it up. So, but anyways, he's also the guy who previously owned. He was the guy who bought that Jordan Kobe Logo Man auto card that was sold for like $12 million not too long ago. Yeah. So he's going on CNBC talking about the Logan Paul, now the newest highest selling card. But now he's saying there's a card that's going to blow people's minds. He's throwing out numbers like $50 million, which is, that is an insane thing for me. When you hear things like that, does that make sense to you? Jordan,
I think for me, like, it's crazy numbers. Like when I came into it, I didn't really know much about it. So when someone's saying £15 million for cars, that's just blows my mind, you know, really. Yeah. Even just, I'd say 5 digits, it blew my mind when I came in with something that's crazy, just like this piece of cardboard, you know.
Well, and so for someone new, I can imagine that being like, that doesn't even make sense. Doesn't compute. For someone like Ben, who's been doing this for a few years now, you know cards can sell in the millions, but to hear a $50 million,
it doesn't really sound real, does it?
Right? Like no. I'm trying to think, like, what would that card be? And the only thing I'm thinking is like, if someone had maybe like there've been talk about like someone has like a Mickey Mantle PSA 10 out there or something like that. And the fact that O'Leary's talking about it makes me think it's not going to be a Pikachu. It's not going to be like a TCG or anything. Yeah. It's going to be a sports card. And to me, the only thing that can really hold value like that would have to be some goat of an older vintage card. And that's where my head goes. But I wasn't sure if you guys think about that, there's been any speculation of what it could be.
No, we don't really get those in the UK much.
Exactly. Well, I mean, who knows? Whatever this card is, it must be high end that they're bringing into the London shop. Yeah. I mean, when we were at the London Card Show, so I do want to talk a little bit about that. Yeah. I will say I was kind of surprised by the number of high end because talking with Ben pretty much on a weekly basis for the last year or so, it does seem like there is a healthy side of this card market here in the UK, but not as, I guess, there's not as much money. There's not as much cash being exchanged for these cards. And that's not because they're not valuable. It's just that most of the audience doesn't have that kind of money to spend necessarily. Is that what you found?
Yeah. If you find high end in a case, it's probably going to be there a few shows.
Really?
If that makes sense. It's not going to shift.
Well, and so when we were at the London show, seeing multiple cards right off the bat in the 5 figures was honestly kind of surprising to me. I didn't expect to see many of those. I honestly thought we were going to see like some maybe a few £1,000 cards. And then it'd probably be in like the hundreds more often. But walking in, like, I think one of the first tables you had like some sealed wax Pokemon, like from first edition Pokemon. And then you were seeing like graded card, numbered superfractors, graded ones of not only like soccer stars, but then you'd have American football and all the other sports that we would experience at any card show we go to. So to see that there is a pretty big high end at the London Card Show, is that normal for you guys?
Yeah, the last 12 months, it probably is a lot more the norm than it was.
Really? It's last 12 months. Okay.
Before that, it was very much sort of, if someone came with a card like that, it was like a museum piece. Everyone was sort of looking around the point. And
wow.
So I think now the US has been more, the people who have got the higher end of sort of not conquered America, but they've figured out the link to America where they can shift it and things like that. Gotcha.
So they don't have a buyer or seller here. They can figure out how to get into the markets over in the US.
Yeah. So Ben, I introduced you to the one with probably the highest end there.
Oh, yeah.
He regularly goes over to the US monthly and he'll cashes everyone out here and takes over there.
Really? Wow. Okay. So have you given any consideration to that? I know like you and I have kind of talked a little bit about that, but like in being more involved in the US market, one downside I could see is like, well, one upside is, hey, well, there's more money in it. There's more buyers and sellers, but then it's like, oh, well, now I can't get it into the hands of my people as readily, especially if you are maybe finding yourself running up against limits of how much product you have. Have you considered pros and cons of things like that?
Yeah, so we use DC Sports quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. Hey, sponsor of this show, consigner of the stars, DC Sports, even in the UK, that's how big they are.
Yeah, so we use them quite regularly for cards that we won't sell as readily over here.
Oh, very cool.
Things like the National, so we are buying now to go to take with us to the National.
Oh, okay, cool.
The problem in the UK is all the shows are at the same time. So I think we're in a row of about 7 shows at the same.
I was going to say, how many shows have you guys been to so far this year? Again, we're in the middle of February.
I think 3. Three.
Okay, 3 shows so far. And then how many more shows in the next few weeks?
So we've got 3 more to go. And we've got Rip Night on top of that as well.
Oh, and then there's, Topps Rip Night, which is tomorrow night, right?
One after. Saturday night.
Oh, it's Saturday night?
Is it? Yeah.
I thought it was Friday night. Oh, man.
Let me check.
I think you're right. No, hang on. I'm going to double check that right now because by the time people hear this, Topps Rip Night is, I thought it was Saturday because I was like, I'm going to go by, we arrive in London tomorrow. Or not London, we arrive in Dublin tomorrow. And I told like the guys at Soccer Cards United, I was going to come by the shop. And I thought, oh, good. I can like be there even if it's early for their Rip Night. Nope, it's Saturday. Dang it. Well, I guess I'll still go by the shop. I just won't get any content for the Rip Night, but I'll just have them pretend. I'll have them put up some signs or something. I'll be like, oh, I was there too. It was great. Okay, so you've got the Rip Night. You've got a number of other shows just back to back. And then are there lulls or because I feel like, I don't know, last year when we were talking, it was very busy for you.
Yeah, I think we average one every other week.
How many people, how many tables would you say are at these shows on average? Because, I mean, the London Card Show's the bigger one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't quite. Probably. I'm probably downsizing it there a little bit.
Okay. So maybe more than 100?
Yeah, I'd probably say couple hundred maybe.
Okay. So that's not bad, though. That's like actually a pretty decent sized local show or something.
Yeah.
But that's worth you traveling to those shows. Like getting a hotel room in some cases and setting up at.
Yeah, so anything local we'll do to try promote the shop.
Really? Oh, wow.
Because we will find a lot of foot traffic comes from that to here.
Smart. Okay, that's good.
And then a lot of it is sort of, whether it's somebody we've got a business relationship with, something where we can promote the streamers or things like that. Or even the sort of, we can buy teams from down south or teams from that are up north. You can buy it down south a lot cheaper. It's like your Man United, Man City, things like that.
So it's worth it to travel. You
get
some better
we
deals.
can shift things a lot easier that way around.
That makes sense because I mean, like, there's definitely regionality to a lot of our card shows too. Where it's like, oh, I'm not going to go to that one where everyone's a Packers fan. I'm not going to go there to buy my Packers cards, right? I want to maybe sell them there and go buy them somewhere else.
Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. and Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teenaccounts.
If you guys are seeing this many card shows, and I know you're sponsoring a number of shows as well, what do you think, what would you like to see other hobby shops in the country do? Because, I mean, how many hobby shops would you even say there are?
Sports-wise, it's probably 6, 7, something like 8, maybe. Something
when
like
I did this video, I did like a little intro. Like I did some, this isn't going to actually be part of the podcast, but I did some content where I recorded a thing outside. And I thought that's the number you said, but I was like, oh, that sounds dangerously low. I was like, there's like less than 50 in the whole country.
Definitely, but
there's only
10.
There's less than 10 card shops, like sports, local card shops.
Yeah.
Because like the other ones you're saying are like more like TCG shops, stuff like that.
TCG is quite frequent.
Yeah, but not the sports cards. No. That's crazy to hear that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Jordan? Like the fact that you're coming into something, you're trying to educate, you are at the forefront. Like you got to think about that because you are one of the less than 10 shops that is going to help promote to the rest of the country and turn that number from double digits to hopefully triple digits. And then from there, you know, what I would think there's a little bit of like pride, but maybe also like a responsibility that is felt as you guys are a legitimate shop, like in the eyes of an American who sees a lot of shops. Yeah. So that being said, you guys have not only the pride of saying, hey, we're already kind of there. We are putting our best foot forward to try and expand this hobby as much as possible. But now it's also like, there's a little bit of responsibility of like, hey, this is how to do it and showing others how to do it. What would you like to see others doing to get to where you're at? Like, is there things you notice like they could do more of?
I think, to be completely honest, at the minute, a lot of it is just survival for shops.
Really?
Yeah. Because a lot of it's online. A lot of the competition you're dealing with is online where you've not got the overheads and things like that.
Sure.
As an actual shop, without the other side of the business, we probably wouldn't have a shop.
Really? Wow.
So a lot of what we do elsewhere puts into this.
So you guys need this hobby to grow. Like I mean, you guys don't, but the UK needs this hobby to grow because how can we really expand without local card shops? I think. I mean, that's a funny thing to say because I do honestly believe that, but I also believe so much in the breaking side. And like right on the other side of this wall, you've got breakers and you have stream setups. Like in this room that we're recording in is going to be another breaking setup. You guys are very into the online scene. Do you guys view having a local card shop presence as being vital for the hobby, or do you think it could get by without it?
It'd be a lot less stressful without it, but actually having it, we think is very important. Yeah. Especially a lot of people will cash out here. We get a lot of people coming in because they don't know where else to go.
Coming to sell their cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't want to have to buy the high end. A lot of people collect sets and lower end. So
sure,
we'd rather have people in the shop where they can come and they can flick through for hours.
That's cool.
And they can learn and they can talk to people because it can be quite most people in the hobby over here aren't very social, if that makes sense. And it's not something you openly talk about if you talk to your friends who you play football with, things like that. So they can come in here and they'll, often on a Saturday, the shop's full of people just chatting that they have no relationship before this, but they're just chatting about what they like.
I think that for me, when I came into, I think that was an important part for me. Just I like coming into here and talking to other people about cars, especially with someone who doesn't know much about it.
Yeah.
So I know nothing about non-sports cars, and I've picked up quite a little bit just by people who've just come through the door and just having a conversation. I think that's really important when it comes to the hobby, in my opinion.
Yeah. So it's an educational space, not just like a social space as well. Yeah.
Almost a bit like a safe space as well, where people can ask questions. They can come in if they're not sure. And
yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean, so there's less than 10 hobby shops, sports wise, in the country. Where's the next closest one to you guys? Like, how far away is it?
About 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Down south, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So if you guys are the center in the 2.5 hour radius of cards in this area, is it like, do you have people traveling far to get here?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, within sort of like a 2 hour.
Oh, they
radius.
will.
Yeah.
They will drive all the way.
Yeah.
So that is really cool to know. Like you guys are like an epicenter for education and just getting cards in people's hands. Now, if the hobby does continue to grow, do you think about like needing to open up another shop or expanding or anything like that in the future?
Yeah, begrudgingly, but yeah. So we do have this building can expand as well. So we have more space here for a bigger shop. But yeah, we've discussed sort of where we could go from here.
Options of things like that. Yeah, because I mean, when you guys are talking to Topps, do they ever encourage you guys to make, bigger moves or anything like that? Because I know like in the States, that's a big thing. Like they want shops to do more, to be more visible. And you guys are doing the Rip Nights. You're doing the things that they want to see. Is that something like the management on this side of the hobby, if they're pushing it all?
Not particularly.
Yeah.
We've not had many. We've only had the account probably 8-10 months, something like that. So,
sure. But it's different though. Like I feel like every time I hear about like what you guys are experiencing, it's not quite the same as it's being done in the US, but I think that it's because of the numbers of what they're seeing. Like I don't know if they necessarily want people to push if there's not going to be a benefit for them and for the corporation behind it.
Yeah, I think the UK is very stretched for allocation and things like that.
Gotcha.
If you look at sort of any Facebook group, it is always people sort of looking for stock.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's people out there who want it.
Yeah.
But you think like maybe some of that's not necessarily going to the people here in the country, maybe it's going outside?
No, a lot of the football, soccer is the biggest one. Yeah, a lot of it will go to breakers. It will stay within.
It'll stay here.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The usual platforms, whatnot, and things like that.
Good. Because that's also one of the things I've thought about is like how much of it stays here. Because I know like when Marvel came out in 2024, I want to say, from Topps, I was buying cases of it from guys in Europe to ship back over to me. And it's like, I loved it personally because I was getting more product and I couldn't find it anywhere. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, well, it's, less that gets in the hands of the locals. So to be able to do a podcast episode talking about the international side of this hobby is actually, I think is a really cool thing. And it's a really fun thing because it's like, oh, it wasn't that long ago that I think a lot of us felt like the hobby's probably where it's at for you guys right now, where it's like, oh, it doesn't, like, there's not everybody in this. It's not on the news all the time. There's not like my grandparents don't know that cards have value. It's like, but now we're starting to get to the point where it's like, oh, well, they saw the man on Shark Tank was talking about it the other day, or the wrestling match, the guy was wearing one around his neck. And it's like, oh, okay, well, now it's getting bigger and more in the media that they are watching. And so it's like, I just imagine it's not that long before it happens more and more for you guys as well.
It feels like it's definitely coming. A lot more people are aware of it, seeing it. We started the shop 18 months ago, so probably like 2 years ago, and it was probably the thought that we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And my dad he's worked in a warehouse 12 hours a day, 6 days a week for God knows how long.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I'm going to go start a card shop.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're a grown man, what are you doing? And that's sort of what it's like in the UK. When he actually came in and he saw he was looking at cards and he was like, what's this?
Yeah.
He couldn't believe what it is.
That's really interesting to me. I mean, but I think that's really, it's good in the sense of that's where we were. Like, that's where it was for us. And that's where it's like, well, if it was like that for us and we've seen the trajectory of this hobby / business, why couldn't it be the same for you guys? And I don't see why it couldn't, because you guys have all the elements that we have access to, or you are getting them right now. So, so you got the education side, Jordan doing podcasts, you guys have news, and you guys have a card shop, you're traveling to all the shows. If you had like a recommendation for others wanting to get not just into collecting, but actually get into the business of cards, what would you suggest?
Go to shows.
Go to shows.
Yeah, I think that's where we sort of the main part of our business is from doing the shows. We've been doing it for 3-4 years, something like that, constantly.
I mean, and it's not like, so yes, guys, they have Topps allocation, but you guys have sponsorships with like eBay Live as well. You guys are doing business directly with them. Yeah. You guys have been in contact with pretty much most of the big players as far as like the companies that we deal with in the US, like I'm trying to think, like Zion Cases and Kurt's Card Care and DC Sports and eBay and all these other things. Like there's a lot of corporate money that gets involved for sponsoring to grow this, and you guys are involved with them. And to know like, oh, well, if people need to have a recommendation of what to do going to a card show, that's good recommendation, because I feel like you guys, if there's somebody to listen to over here, it's going to be you. So, I mean, does that weird to hear?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just a group of Northerners.
Well, here's the problem: is you Englanders are very humble, and you specifically in this shop, I feel like are very, very humble and down to earth people. So, I don't want you to undersell, but I also don't want you to stop being humble. So that's a catch-22 right there.
We were talking about it the other day. We put in. We put the 2 big panes of glass in.
Oh, yeah.
We've got we're going to put a little bet on who walks into it first. But that's our people that will shock you with how good we can be, but also shock you with how bad we can be at the same time.
Can I tell you that you almost had the first person to trip on the window frame? Because I literally thought, oh, I'm going down in this shop. But I caught myself right before I did, because where this window frame is going, there is a flooring part of the frame that I was not watching when I walked in here. So, well, it's good. It's, you know what, that's probably one of the reasons why I feel at home here. So it's good. I know there's like other things that I wanted to talk about, but part of what we were going to do on the show, and now I'm starting to think this should be separate content, because it's like, this needs to be video. This can't be podcast content. Is they got a bunch of local, like when I say local to England, treats and snacks and drinks. And we're going to do like a little taste test thing. I before we end it, because I think what we'll do is that's going to be like YouTube and social media content. So if you're not already subscribed to YouTube, go out there, click the subscribe, click the links, all this stuff that we really appreciate. Do the same for the Third Down guys. Check out their social media, check out their podcast. It's very good content, down to earth, and it's cool to see another perspective of what we're all part of. But before we do that, I am curious, if I came over here and I was expecting a warm beer, will I find it anywhere?
I don't think I've ever had one, not on purpose.
Why did I think that? Why is this a thing? Like I will say this. We did go to a place. I just broke your chair. We did go to a place where the beer wasn't super cold, but it wasn't warm. And it's like, and it wasn't all the beer. It was like that one beer. I was like, oh, okay, it's just like, maybe it's a fresh keg or something.
No,
like,
we've had when it comes to like the Christmas, we have mulled wine and stuff like that, mulled cider.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that, but I've never warm beer.
No, I've
never
heard of that one before.
Okay, so that's a myth.
Someone pulling your leg.
Yeah, well, it's like I was thinking, like when I'm over here, I want to do like a Mythbusters of, that was Ben's idea, Mythbusters of UK versus America. And as far as like the hobby stuff goes, I think there are some myths busted as far as like, I was expecting it to be maybe not as big, maybe more, I guess, subdued. But after going to the London Card Show, like I mentioned, higher in cards than I was expecting. There was a lot of people, a lot of energy. I didn't mention, but it was also very, very young. Like on average, I'd say 30s, like somewhere in the 30 age range is your average. And that may even be high considering is the number of like under 10 year olds that were there, because they even had like a designated area for little kids for drawing and like coloring and all this kind of stuff. It was a very cool the way they did that. But that was one myth busted as far as like what I was expecting there. Other myths as far as the beer temperatures go, that was a different part of it. Can I ask you this? How do you spell tire? Like if I am driving on 4 tires on my car?
Tyre.
Why? Why do you ever spell tire Tire?
Oh, it's like tires in tire. Like
okay. Okay, so we spell it differently. That's not a myth. That's just a fact. That's just more of a that is not busted. That is a true fact that I keep seeing tire and I'm just like, why what is a tire? Like I don't know. I think of like tire like an old country or something. I don't know where something in Middle East, but okay, so the subtle differences for a dumb American, they're not so much myths, they're just different. So if you can handle that, you can handle the UK. Other than that, we're going to try out some snacks. Again, check out the social medias, YouTube, all that stuff to check it out. I'll be back in studio with Ray Solorio, Mr. Solar Ray, for the next episode. Looking forward to it because there's a number of things that he's got as far as TCG, things like that. And I'm thinking just now, like, oh, I meant to mention that, and I've got this and that, and it's like I've got notes that'll be on next week's episode. So when I'm back in the States, I don't know how I'm going to do it because I just realized too, I get back on Sunday night and we record Monday afternoons. My jet lag is going to be so terrible. Guys, guess what? It's going to be a great episode, the next one. So tune in for that.
Fun.
There you go. Thank you. But from Keighley, Bradford, Yorkshire County, and England, Sports Boy signing off from the Third Down Trading Card Shop. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.